and welcome to another episode of Rob's World of Boxing. Let's get it. Alright, I want to get into this video. There was a lot of action over the weekend. Well, not a lot of cards, but a lot of action. So, without further ado, man, let's jump right into it. The card I want to talk about that happened over the weekend, well, Saturday, January 7th, it was a GTD PBC Showtime pay-per-view card. PBC is Al Heyman, all those guys, if you didn't know. It was in Washington, D.C. It came on at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. The main event was Gervonta Tank Davis versus Hector Garcia. Alright. Before we jump into the main card, let's talk about the preliminary. Alright, on the prelims, non-televised portion of the card. The first fight I want to talk about was a 6-round contest, a super welterweight. Super welterweight is 154 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Trayvon Marshall versus his opponent, Sean West. Trayvon Marshall was 6-0, 6 KOs, 22 years of age. Well, he is 22 years of age, and he's an interesting-looking prospect, man. He's a good-looking prospect, pause. Yeah, man, he got his opponent, Sean West, out of there in the first round. It was a first-round TKO for Trayvon Marshall, advancing his record to 7-0, 7 KOs. I said he's a nice-looking young prospect, man. So, yeah. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card, it was an 8-round contest at junior welterweight. Junior welterweight is 140 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Brandon Lee versus Diego Lagu. Brandon Lee was 26-0, 22 KOs. He is 23 years of age. Diego Lagu was 21-10, 2 draws with 10 KOs. Brandon Lee got Diego Lagu out of there in the 4th round via TKO, scoring a TKO, as I just said. Advancing his record to 27-0, 23 KOs. Making easy work of Diego Lagu and getting back to his winning wage, Brandon Lee being, and hopefully his next fight he can get back to, some better competition. Because Diego Lagu is not on Brandon Lee's level, and he showed that. So, yeah. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card was a 10-round contest, a super welterweight. Super welterweight is 154 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Vito Metaliki Jr. versus Omar Rosales. Vito Metaliki Jr. was 14-0, 9 KOs. He is 20 years of age. Omar Rosales was 9-1-1. Someone please call 911. Nah, look, but he was 9-1-1. All right, Vito Metaliki Jr. made easy work of Diego Rosales. He scored a 4th round TKO win versus Diego Rosales, same as Brandon Lee did against Diego Lagu. Yeah, man. Vito Metaliki Jr., he looked good, man. He's a solid young prospect. He's grounded. Yeah, man, he's very solid. I like Vito Metaliki Jr. a lot, and I feel like Top Rank like him a lot as well, you know. Being that they pushed him how they pushed him after that loss, man. And he's not disappointed, man. He's looking good. He's looking like the loss was just a hiccup. And yeah. Good job, all the young guys on that prelim card. Oh yeah, also Jaleel Hackett was on the prelims. I think he's 4-0, 4 KOs. I forget who he was fighting, man, but I know Jaleel Hackett was on the card, and he scored a 1st round KO win. So good job, Jaleel Hackett, a young man from Washington, D.C. You know, I wanted to throw him in there before I moved on, man. Good job, all the young guys, and including Jaleel. All right, now let's get into the televised portion of the card. First fight I want to talk about was a 10-round contest at super middleweight. Super middleweight is 168 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade versus Damon Nicholson. This was Boo Boo Andrade's first fight with Premier Boxing Champions. Signing with Al Heyman. So yeah, man, he was trying to make a mark. All right, Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade was 31-0, 19 KOs. He's a southpaw. Damon Nicholson was 26-4, 1 draw, 22 KOs. All right, Andrade got cut from a clash of heads in the first round from Damon coming in leading with his head and Andrade being a southpaw. So that wasn't a good look. Andrade got cut. But his corner actually did a good job of, getting it under control, not letting it, affect him during the fight and getting it sealed up pretty quick there. I actually I don't know what I was doing, but I didn't see it. My cousin said Damon got dropped in the second round. I know Andrade came out with some, some steam, throwing some shit, some fire, trying to sit on his punches. But I didn't see him drop Damon Nicholson in the second round. Like I said, I don't know what I was doing. But come to find out, it did happen, So good job on that, cuz catching that for me. All right, but I know Andrade, I was down there close by the 6th round. I don't know if it was from the heads, the clash of heads, but his eye was almost close from the 6th round. And it was the same eye, it was cut, so I'm assuming it was a, clash of heads. Yeah, and Damon, he was in there talking hella shit. That nigga was in there. He was he was in there yelling at him like he was his daddy. He was going hellboat him. I was like, what's wrong with this man? What's God did to him? He's crazy. But yeah, man, all that talking and all that, all that posturing, it didn't do much, man. Cause once Boo Boo started boxing and stopped, feeding into Damon's, nonsense, for lack of words, man. It was easy work, man. It was easy fight for Boo Boo Andrade. He's, jabbing, hitting, not getting hit, and yeah, man, the judges felt the same way. Oh yeah, also Damon went down in the 10th round. It was a flash knockdown, but he did go down in the 10th round. So, yeah, man, like I said, it was an easy fight for Boo Boo Andrade. The judges seen it the same way. One judge had it. Well, all 3 judges scored the fight the same. A unanimous decision win for Boo Boo Andrade. They all had it 100-88 in a clean sweep. So, yeah, man, that's easy work. He didn't lose a round. Good job, Boo Boo Andrade, getting that win versus Damon Nicholson, and putting your flag down over there at the PBC camp, and let's see how it goes. He says he want to get in the, get Charlo in the ring, get David Benavidez in the ring, Caleb Plant, all those top 168 pounders, man. I'm looking forward to it. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It was a 12-round contest at welterweight. Welterweight is 147 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Speedy Rashidi Ellis versus Roymond Villa. Speedy Rashidi Ellis was 25-0, 15 KOs. Roymond Villa was 25-1, 24 KOs. Before the fight, I called my partner. I told him, like, bruh, look at this fight. This is going to be a good one. I guaranteed you got a slickster versus a power puncher, man. And, yeah, somebody got to give. We're going to see who's going to give. And early on in the fight, Speedy was, man. He was doing everything right. He was beating the hell out of Roymond Villa, in my opinion. I know I'm not saying his last name right, too. I know it's not Villa. It was spelled Villa, but anyway. He was beating the hell out of Villa, man. He was from pillar to post. He was, faster. Villa just couldn't catch him, man. He looked like Jason in there, slow as hell, walking, and he was getting tagged until the 9th round when Ellis started getting tired, man. And it was ugly, man. He started getting tired. He started getting hit, man. Ellis Villain, man, he was, like I said, he was looking like Jason, but he caught up to him. Jason always catch up to them, catch up to the motherfuckers in the movie too, man. This was no exception. He caught up to Speedy Ellis, man, and he started putting a beating on Rashidi Speedy Ellis. I was just hoping, and Speedy was just hoping that he could make it to the final bell, man. I really wanted to see Speedy and Boots, and fight happen. It was a lot of controversy before the fight. They was arguing back and forth, but yeah, man. Ellis actually went down in the 12th round from a big left hook. Yeah, man. It was 30 seconds left. He was struggling, trying to survive, man. Ellis went down again. I think it was like 2 seconds left in the fight, man. He went down again. He was getting the hell beat out of him in the 12th round, man. He was just trying to survive, like I said. Yeah, man. Ellis needs to work on his conditioning, in my opinion. I feel like it probably was like kind of PBC's fault too. Like, cause why would you put him in a 12-round contest? It's not a title fight. It don't have to be a 12-rounder. You could have put him in a 10-rounder. He's been on a 2-year layoff. His first fight with y'all, not first fight, second fight with you guys. Y'all throw him in a 12-rounder. Come on, man. Put the man in a 10-rounder. He would have won the fight easily. I think those last 2 rounds were just too much for a man coming off that lengthy of a layoff. And the facts show it, man. Yeah, man. He, like I said, he need to work on his conditioning ASAP, man. He was exhausted. It's a problem. It's a big problem. Keep Boots' name out your mouth, man, till you go run some more. Cause goddamn. But other than that, you was good, man. But all right, let's get to the scorecards. One judge had to fight 113, a draw. Another judge had to fight 112 for Villa. And the last judge had to fight the same way. 112 for your winner, Roy Villa. Getting that win versus Speedy Rashidi Ellis. A big win on his resume, man. I think his last fight, which I didn't know, he had beat Boa Chica. That's how you said it. I think that's how you said it. Boa Chica. He was a prospect on the rise, man, undefeated prospect. I think he beat him on Showbox too. So yeah, man, that was a good notch in your belt right there. And then come back right after that fight, and do what you just did to Speedy Rashidi Ellis. He's a problem at the weight class. So yeah, man, all y'all who just thought that y'all was gonna come dominate the welterweight division after Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence leave and grab those belts, man, y'all better be looking at some guys like Roy Villa and other unknowns to throw wrenches in that plans. But more so Roy man, because he's nice, man. He's real nice. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of him in the future. All right. Next fight I want to talk about, it was a 12-round contest at welterweight. Welterweight is 147 pounds. Like I just said, man. You want to listen? All right. It was Jerron Boots Ennis versus Karen versus Karen. He was fighting the Karen. I ain't even going to try it. But yeah. I throw it on the screen. All right, Jerron Boots Ennis was 29-0, 27 KOs, and Karen was 21-1 with 11 KOs. All right, Karen was also from the Ukraine. Trying to put on for the Ukraine and get them in good spirits. After all what's going on over there. But Boots was looking to deter that. All right, let's get to the fight. In my opinion, Boots needs to keep his hands up, man. He was he plays too much. I ain't gonna say he played, but I feel like he gets a little overconfident sometimes, and he will, drop his hands and play around in there. And he was getting caught. Karen was catching. I feel like Boots has no flaws, but maybe that's one, man. He can get overconfident. So I feel like Boots, work on that, man. Work on that. But yeah, man. Boots never been past 6 rounds in his professional career. And this fight went past 6 rounds. It's the first time he went past 6 rounds. So I was looking to see how he handled that, and he handled it well, man. In my opinion, it was a smooth fight for Boots. I feel like Karen was making it hard. He was kind of like running in there. He was kind of not trying to get embarrassed, and he wasn't really trying to engage too much. But yeah, man. In my opinion, it's gonna be fighters like that. You're not gonna knock out everyone. This was a boring fight. I feel like Boots came in there trying to overly impress his home crowd, or his hometown area, because he's from Philly, but the fight was in the DMV area, so I feel like he was trying to overly impress. Yeah, man, which calls for a kind of lackluster performance from Boots, one of his most lackluster performances I've seen, but it was still a unanimous decision win for Boots. He dominated every minute of the round, man. Every minute of every round. Sorry about that. And the judges felt the same way. All 3 judges had the score 120 to 108, scoring a unanimous decision win for Gervonta Boots Ennis, man. Yeah, man. He becomes the interim IBF champion, man. So now he's Errol Spence's mandatory, man, for that IBF belt, man. So if he don't fight Terrence Crawford, man, he has to fight Gervonta Boots Ennis, man. So let's see how that go. But nonetheless, man, good job, Gervonta Boots Ennis, getting that win, man, showing everybody you can go the distance, man. And no lie, he looked the same in the first round as he did in the 12th. He stands up in between rounds. He didn't sit down once, going the distance, man. His conditioning is amazing. He's a monster. Gervonta Boots Ennis, man. One of my second favorite fighter in boxing. Y'all know who my first is. All right, let's talk about the main event, man. Hold on. All right. It was a 12-round contest at lightweight. Lightweight is 135 pounds. If you didn't know, it was Gervonta Tank Davis versus Hector Luis Garcia. Gervonta Tank Davis was 27-0, 25 KOs. Hector Luis Garcia was 16-0 with 10 KOs, man. And he was jumping up from 130 pounds. He was a 130-pound champion, So he left his belt at 130. So he's still 135. Let me not give away the ending. He jumped up from 130 pounds, where he still is champion at. All right. Hector Luis Garcia is from DR. Gervonta Tank Davis is from Baltimore, Maryland. All right, let's get into it. Tate came out with Shy Glizzy, a native of DC, man, trying to put on for DC, man. He was laughing and joking, chilling, man, before the fight. He was like, it was letting no lies. So I was thinking, like, is this a good thing or is this a bad thing? Is he extra comfortable or just, too comfortable? All right, but yeah, all right, freaking, in my opinion, Garcia was winning the fight. Man, I didn't score the fight round by round. I felt like it was gonna be no need, knowing how Tank fights. Yeah, and that was, it worked out that way because Hector Luis Garcia was winning the fight up until the 8th round, man. In my opinion, when he got caught, man. I don't know what the fuck he got caught. He got caught at like the top of the head. Like, I didn't even think Gervonta hit him that hard. But he did hit him that hard. Because, yeah, man, after the fight, he must make the hit, he must make a cuss or something. Because he went, luckily it was the end of the round. He went straight to the corner. He started walking toward Gervonta's corner. Try to follow Gervonta. The ref had to hey, no, go that way, bro. You tripping. He ended up going to his corner. As soon as he got to his corner, he asked his corner, like, what happened? I don't know what happened. And I guess they told him what happened, Then the bell rang for him to go out. He was telling his corner, like, hey, I can't see. No, I can't see out my left eye. And the corner was like, telling him, all right, we got to go. Gervonta even stormed to the middle of the ring. Like, bring him out. What's up? What's going on? He coming or not? His corner man's telling, he can't see. you know, the ref and the doctor, everybody came over. That's when they stopped the fight. His corner was telling him, like, he can't see, so we got to stop it. You know, which gave Gervonta Davis the ninth round TKO win. You know, continuing his winning ways, man, and scoring another brutal knockout versus Hector. Well, not against Hector, but against another motherfucker who didn't want to smoke. And this one just so happened to be Hector Luis Garcia. Man, like I said, it was a brutal knockout. Anytime you hit a grown man and he says he can't see, you know, you done knocked the vision loose from a nigga. That's big, man. He knocked that man vision loose, man. I ain't never seen nothing like that in my life. He said he couldn't see. That's crazy. But yeah, man. Good job, Gervonta Tank Davis, man, scoring that ninth round KO versus Hector Luis Garcia, man. Also, Tank has become very well spoken, in my opinion. After the fight, he was speaking very well, very well. That was always a problem for Tank coming up, man. I see he's been working on his speech patterns and his impediments, you know. And I respect him, man, because it's not the easiest, you know, coming from where we come from, you know, trying to transition over to, you know, from not just talking like a hood nigga, you know, and talking like this and saying, you know, all like this, you know what I'm talking about. You know, that shit hard, man. It ain't as easy as we make it look, you know. But I'm proud of Tank, man. You know, he's talking way better, way better. All right. Also, like I said, man, Hector, man, he was champion at 130. He's still champion at 130. He has nothing to be ashamed of. He went up 5 pounds and fought one of the best fucking lightweights, you know, there's ever been, and one of the best lightweights there is right now, and lost. So you have nothing to be ashamed of. You beat the hell out of Chris Colbert, and I think you will beat the hell out of Chris Colbert again. So, you know, stay at 130. You know, and Chris Colbert was saying if you know, if you got knocked out, he didn't want to fight. I'm like, what the fuck? But he knocked you. But he could have knocked you out. He beat your ass, man. Chris Colbert gonna fight you anyway. He needs to fight you anyway to get his manhood back. So yeah, you ain't got nothing to be ashamed about. You still got money on the floor. Let's go. Good job though, Gervonta Tank Davis getting that KO win. You know, and moving on to your fight with Ryan Garcia, supposedly and hopefully. All right. That was it for that card, man. And like I said, it was a good card. I don't know if I did say it, but it was an amazing card. Actually, it was one of the best cards I've seen in a while. Other than you know, those young top ranked cards with the prospects stacked top to bottom, because those would be amazing too. But this was like one of the best cards I've seen with, you know, established fighters already, undefeated established fighters. So yeah, man, that was a good card to kick off the year too. Amazing card to kick off the year. All right, let's talk about the fights that's gonna happen. The upcoming fights that's gonna happen this upcoming weekend, Saturday, January 14th, 2023. All right, this fight card is gonna be in New York City on ESPN Plus. It's a top ranked card. Top ranked is Bob Arum. All those guys. All right, the main event is going to be a 10-round contest of heavyweight. Heavyweight is the big boys. All right, it's going to be between Efe Ajagba and Stephen Shaw. Efe Ajagba is 16-1, 13 KOs. He's 28 years of age. He's from Nigeria. He stands at 6'6" with an 85-inch reach. His last, was that his last fight? Well, his last loss was, his only loss, was the unanimous decision loss versus Frank Sanchez, when Frank Sanchez was 18-0, and that fight transpired October of 2021. That's his only loss, man. Other than that, he was the boogeyman in the heavyweight division, knocking out everybody in his path until he came up against Frank Sanchez, who boxed his lights out, man. And yeah, man, hopefully Efe Ajagba worked on his boxing skills and his defensive skills, you know, so he won't encounter that problem again. All right. His opponent, Stephen Shaw. He's 16-0, 13 KOs, 30 years of age. He's from St. Louis. He stands at 6'4" with an 81-inch reach. So he's a little smaller than F.A. Ajaba. So yeah, man. Hopefully F.A. Ajaba, sees that Stephen Shaw is smaller than him, and he knows it, and he can use his length and his reach, and his boxing skills that hopefully he has learned, in the defeat against Frank Sanchez, and use those skills to his advantage and get the win versus Stephen Shaw. Man, I feel like quick prediction. I said KO. I said 6-round KO for F.A. Ajaba, man, getting back to his winning ways, and yeah. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card is a 10-round contest at heavyweight. So just stay, man, them the big niggas. All right, it's between Guido Venanello and Jonathan Wright. Guido Venanello is 10-0, 1 draw, 9 KOs. 9 KOs, 28 years of age. He's from Italy. He stands at 6'6" with a 79-inch reach. I think Bob Arum, the owner of Top Rank Promotions, is Italian as well. So I think that's why he's been pushing Guido along how he has, and very carefully, very, very carefully. I think he wants him to do well. All right, his opponent, Jonathan Wright. He's 15-6, 1 draw, 10 KOs. He stands at 6'5" with an 81-inch reach. He's from South Carolina. His last fight was a unanimous decision loss against F.A. Ajaba, when F.A. Ajaba was 13-0, and that fight transpired September of 2020. So he hasn't fought in a little over 2 years. So yeah, we'll see how that go for Jonathan, and his record, isn't outstanding to start with. Like I said, Bob Arum been pushing Guido along very slowly and carefully, man. And I don't see this fight being an exception. He's fighting a guy coming off a 2-year layoff. I feel like, quick prediction, I feel like Guido Venanello should make easy work of a guy coming off of a 2-year layoff. I say a 2nd-round KO win for Guido Venanello. All right, continue his KO ways. All right, hold on. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card is a 10-round contest at featherweight. Featherweight is 126 pounds. If you didn't know, it's between Adam Lopez and Abram Supernova Nova. All right, Adam Lopez is 16-3, 6 KOs, 26 years of age, and Abraham Nova is 21-1, 15 KOs, 28 years of age. All right, Adam Lopez is also from Glendale, California. His only losses he has 3 losses. He lost against Stephen Fulton Jr., Oscar Valdez. Well, he lost against Stephen Fulton Jr. when Stephen Fulton Jr. was 11-0. He lost against Oscar Valdez when Oscar Valdez was 26-0. And he also lost against Isaac Dogbay when Dogbay was 21-2. So those are Adam Lopez's 3 losses. None of those losses are nothing to be ashamed of, So let's see if Abraham Supernova can put his 4th loss on him. I don't know if I stated he's from Puerto Rico, and his last fight he lost versus Robesi Ramirez, who was an Olympic gold medalist for Cuba. He was a highly decorated amateur. He's been a pretty good pro. I think he's 10-1 now. So losing him is nothing to be ashamed of. I think he's going to go on and do good things. Robesi Ramirez, great things. Robesi Ramirez. I think Abraham Supernova is still going to go on to do good things, man. Abraham Nova, he has a mascot. He's a hell of a marketer. I want him to do well in the sport, man. I really, really want him to do well in the sport. I feel like he's going to get back to his winning ways in this fight against Adam Lopez. And, yeah, man, put that 4th loss on him, man. So I feel like Isaac Dogbay, Stephen Fulton Jr., Oscar Valdez, will all have a loss have a win against Adam Lopez. You know, Abraham Nova as well. I don't know if I said that. But all right, I feel like a quick prediction. I feel like unanimous decision win for Abraham Supernova. Yeah, buddy. All right. Next fight I want to talk about is an 8-round contest at junior featherweight. Junior featherweight is 122 pounds. Did know. It's between Floyd Diaz and Edwin Rodriguez. Floyd Diaz is 8-0, 3 KOs. He's 19 years of age. He's from Las Vegas, Nevada. And he's a nice looking young prospect, man. I like him a lot. Pause. Edwin Rodriguez is 11-6, 2 draws, 5 KOs. He's from Puerto Rico. And I ain't heard of him, honestly. I feel like Floyd Diaz should make easy work of Edwin Rodriguez, man. He has 6 losses. And Floyd Diaz is, like I said, he's a nice looking prospect, man. I have Floyd Diaz and yeah, he don't have too many KOs. I say unanimous decision win for Floyd Diaz. Alright. Next fight on the card I want to talk about is an 8-round contest at junior featherweight. As I just stated, junior featherweight is 122 pounds. I know y'all heard that. Alright, it's between Haven Brady Jr. and Ruben Cervera. Alright, Haven Brady Jr. is 8-0, 4 KOs, 21 years of age. He's from Albany, Georgia. And also, he's another nice-looking prospect, man. His opponent, Ruben Cervera, is 13-3, 11 KOs, 25 years of age. He's from Colombia. His last fight was a unanimous loss versus Carlos Balderas. And that fight transpired May of 2022. Losing Carlos Balderas is nothing to be ashamed about. He was a highly decorated amateur, man. He's only lost once in the pros. And he's going to go on to do great things, in my opinion, as well. So, yeah, it's nothing to be ashamed of. Cervera. All right, I feel like Haven Brady Jr., man, he's going to get this win. It should be I ain't going to say easy work, man, because Cervera, he has 13 wins. And out of 13 of those wins, 11 of them is KOs. So he hits pretty hard. So I ain't gonna say easy, but I feel like Haven Brady Jr. should get this win. I'll say unanimous decision win for Haven Brady Jr., man. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card. It's a 6-round contest at featherweight. As I stated earlier, featherweight is 126 pounds. It's between Bruce Shushu Carrington and Juan Antonio Lopez. Bruce Shushu Carrington is 5-0, 3 KOs, 25 years of age. He's from Brooklyn, New York. He's another good-looking young prospect. His opponent, Juan Antonio Lopez, is 17-12. Woo. 1 draw, 7 KOs, 29 years of age. He's a southpaw. He's from Mexico. I never heard of Juan Lopez, man. Probably because he's from Mexico. And probably because he's 17-12. You know, he's been getting beat on pretty often. So, I don't see why Bruce Shushu Carrington shouldn't do the same thing, man. I say Bruce is a knockout. He be knocking the hell. He be beat people ass. I say he go knock him out. I say 4th round KO for Bruce Shushu Carrington, man. Continuing his winning ways and putting on for Brooklyn. All right, next fight I want to talk about on the card is a 6-round contest at light heavyweight. Light heavyweight is 175 pounds. If you didn't know, it's between Dante Benjamin Jr. and Emmanuel Austin. Dante Benjamin Jr. is 4-0, 2 KOs, 20 years of age. He's from Cleveland, Ohio. And, yeah, man, he's another very good-looking prospect on the card. Like I said, Top Rank be having cards, man, where they got just, you know, great-looking prospects, man, up and down the card, man. So this is no exception, man. This is an amazing card. All right, his opponent Emmanuel Austin, he's 6-0 with 6 KO. Ooh, okay. They trying to put the Dante must have made Bob mad or something. What you say to Bob? He done threw you in there with a guy 6-0 with 6 KOs. He's 29 years of age from New Orleans, Louisiana, and from as you see from his record, he's a hard hitter, man. So woo, this is gonna be a good fight, man. I think what's the opening fight too? This should be a good one, man. You got a hard hitter versus another hard hitter, man, who's a he's a good looking young prospect. I ain't gonna say top. He only have 4 fights, but yeah, man. I'm looking forward to seeing this fight. I feel like Dante Benjamin Jr., man, he should get the win, man. He should get the win. I'll say a unanimous decision win against Emmanuel Austin. I don't see him knocking him out. I feel like he needs to stay away from that power and box him, and show, other dimensions of his game in this fight. And I feel like that's what he'll do, and he'll get that win. Unanimous decision win for Dante Benjamin Jr. All right, that's it for the fights for this upcoming weekend. Yeah, it's just that one card, that top ranked card. Yeah. All right. In other news, Garcia versus Gervonta Tank Davis is supposedly scheduled for April 15th. Hope that fight happens. We know Ryan. He's not the most trustworthy guy when it comes to fight announcements and dates. So, Gervonta said that everything's good on his end. All they doing is waiting on Ryan now. So, come on, Ryan. Let's get the fight going. Let's get it popping, man. You was talking all that shit. See what he just did to Hector Garcia. Don't get cold feet, man. I want to see the fight. Let's go. Let's get it. All right. Also, Meek Mill and the Russell brothers had got into it at the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. So I meant to talk about it after the card I was talking about. But yeah, they had got into it, man. I didn't know what it was about. During the fight, Gervonta and Hector had got distracted. They even stopped fighting, man, and went to each, the opposite corners and was just looking at the fight in the crowd, with a possible fight in the crowd. I guess it wasn't a fight. They was finna fight, and it was broken up, I guess, because Meek was in the Russell brothers' ears, Well, I'm jumping ahead of myself. During the fight, Gary Russell Jr. was making a lot of Instagram videos. I seen a couple in the Instagram videos. He was basically saying, like, the fight is nothing, the fight is trash, this all Tank got. He ain't got defense. He ain't got this. He ain't got that. I beat the hell out of him. He don't want no smoke. Because, they've been going back at it for years, Gervonta and Gary Russell. Gary Russell Jr. So, I guess Meek Mill overheard it because he was sitting behind him and, had a little slick comment to say, or, and, there's a rivalry also between the DMV and Philly, so, and Meek is with Philly, and the Russell brothers are from DC. That's why they were at the fight, and they're fighters too, but they're from DC. Main reason they probably was at the fight, front row. So that's a whole rivalry in itself, and yeah, man. I guess Meek probably said something to Gary Russell Jr. like, yeah, Gervonta do this to you and do that to you. You ain't this and you ain't that. And he probably was saying, I do this and I do that and I am this and I am that. And then I heard the little Russell brother told Meek, man, like to shut the fuck up or something like that before he knock his lights out or something. Then I heard it. That's when we got the altercation. It was a big altercation, big blow up and all this and all that. So it was a whole bunch of nothing really, So it was what it was and it is what it is. But in other news, like I said, Shakur Stevenson still doesn't have an opponent at the lightweight division, man. Nobody want to fight him at 135 pounds. Goddamn, man. Man, who is gonna get in there with Shakur Stevenson at 135 pounds? That's what we got to keep an eye on. We got to see who the fuck gonna step up and grow some cojones, and get in there with the guy, man. But hopefully, man, somebody do it, cause My nigga need to fight. He gotta feed his family. I think he just had a baby. He ain't, man. Can he feed his family? Goddamn, scary motherfuckers. But yeah, I told y'all he's a problem. Everybody see it. That's why he's my favorite fucking fighter in the world. Period. You know, nobody don't want to smoke that guy. Nobody. You know? Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. All that shit, people. Rob's Road to Boxing. Yeah.